Okay, hello. Welcome to Real Life Survival Guide. And this is how to deal with friendships, a difficult friend. Today I'll be sharing 12 tips for having a successful friendship. Okay, number 1, choose friends with common goals. You can meet new friends by following your interests and passions, as you're likely to meet others who share those interests. Number 2, be a good listener. Listen actively and empathetically, and don't judge them. Pay attention to what your friend's saying. Ask questions to show you understand. If you don't understand, ask. And you should respond in a supportive and understanding way, with not responding in a bad way, because it never goes over well. Communicate honestly. You should always express how you feel and listen to your friends when they do the same, because the more you communicate honestly, the less issues you'll have. Be a trustworthy, good friend. Because if you're not, then you're probably not going to have many friends. You want to find a group of friends that won't betray you, they won't disregard your limits, or make you question yourself, or just make you feel bad. Which I'll get on to a point about that later in Difficult Friend. You should remain open to communicate. You should always stick to their word. If you make a promise, follow through on it. Because if you don't, then you're going to end up in some problems. Okay. Be a supportive cheerleader. Celebrate your friends' achievements. And when they're not doing so good, be there for them. Help them cheer up and feel better. Always find something that makes them smile. Because no matter how hard it is for them, inside of them, they feel happy to have you as a friend. Give them time, which means you should always make time for each other, even when your life gets chaotic, which is something I probably should have done more with one of my friends. Curb your expectations. You can't expect everyone you meet to become your best friend, but you can work towards it, which can happen in ways than others. Just let it go with the flow. You should always be present and be there for your friends when they need you the most. For example, I went to support 3 of my friends at their completion ceremony for some program I was in for students with intellectual, developmental, and learning disabilities, but I felt obligated to go because they are my friends and I should feel good to go and support them, because I felt like I should support them, because 2 of them are 2 of my good friends, very good friends. You should always show empathy and understand your friends' perspectives, because you never know what you can learn from listening to their own perspectives. Oh, this is a big one. You should always find a way to get your friends smiling and laughing. That's a huge thing in my friend group, which is made up of boys. I just never vibed with girls, but a simple joke can really brighten up someone's day. And I have one for you. What happens when you put 2 college mascots in the same room? They hash it out. It's a reference to University of Wisconsin-Madison Bucky the Badger and Edgewood College in Madison, Eddie the Eagle, hashing it out, saying, "No, I'm the better mascot. No, I am. No, I am. I am." Trying to figure out who's the best mascot in the whole city. Yeah, and you should always be a good friend. Trust me, the more you're a good friend, the more they'll want to be around you. Okay, now on to the difficult friend portion. This is a true story that I have, because I've had to go through it, and it made my college experience okay. It was good in the academic way, but then when it came to friends, there was always issues. So I had to go through something like that, and it was not fun. I had a friend who had major anger issues. He always would ask for weekend plans by every Tuesday, which is ridiculous because not many people know what they want to do on the weekend by Tuesday. But I had to do it. I had to figure it out by then because he asked. And if I didn't, he would get on me and ask and ask and ask until I did. So, and then when we would go do events like Target or the mall, but especially with the mall, he would rush us at the mall. He'd be like, how much longer do we have to be at the mall? I know I like the mall, but I have homework to get back and do. Because all he cared about was succeeding in college. He only cared about his academics. And I learned that he was brought up in a strict family with a brother and triplet sisters, but still, that doesn't mean he gets to rush us on the weekends. If you have too much homework, then don't come to the event. Simple. But this is what really set me and my friends off edge. There was a day last year, in April 15th last year, me and my friends were waiting for a bus to get back to college from the mall when my friend, the difficult one, he's a former friend now, but he literally was getting mad at us and frustrated and yelling at us. One of my friends who rarely gets frustrated as he did was really frustrated and was like really frustrated. And then I was bickering back at him. I had other friends bickering back at him. I had invited some of my freshman friends from the program I was in. They were bickering at him. And then pretty much after that day, the freshmen of the program, every single one of them shunned themselves away from him. Like they just flat out ignored him. Like they didn't even social with him, they ignored him. Which I tried to ignore him a little more than I usually did, and I did ignore him a little more than I usually did. And if he was getting on my nerve on text message, I decided to just hide the alerts and get back to him when I felt like it. And like the one thing that really made it a lot better in the end was I had gotten a message from a friend. He said the friend's name is transferring to a school in Florida. And at that point I was like, hallelujah, woohoo! Because he was the most difficult friend I've ever had. And I had a difficult friend in high school, and it was a boy, because I was friends with boys in high school, but this one was way 10 times more difficult than the one in high school. The one in high school was just flat out mean, but this one was way more difficult. Like 10 times more difficult. So lesson for everyone. If you start to see early signs of a friendship that's probably gonna go bad or weary, don't be friends with them. Like some of the signs you might see is your friend focusing more on his academics than on weekends than his friends. A friend getting frustrated more. A friend maybe your friend's like rushing you guys when you're out and about. Signs like that are signs that they're not probably the best person to have as a friend anymore. And I wish I would have realized that much sooner, because I could have just disregarded him altogether and the friendship altogether. I could have, but the thing is, he would have never let that happen, because he didn't want to pit